are they financially supporting you, or like, why are you being held hostage?
What's the deal? Yeah, like.
And then when they're like, no, I'm like, I don't understand. You know, you can just say no, right?
Welcome back to Thanks for Your Concern. You're here with Ella.
And I'm Berenice. Hi, Ella. What's up?
Hey. Oh, gosh. What is up? Dude, you guys, I've been waking up early, okay? And it's been really good because I feel like it isn't time I would have been doing anything else. And I'm not productive at the nighttime, you know? Like, I'm just watching Sopranos until 2 a.m. So it's not like, I think there's this myth that, like, if you wake up at 5 a.m., you have, like, a longer day. You don't. You have to go to bed earlier. But just for me and my lifestyle, I'm not doing anything productive after 8 p.m. anyways. So, like, I just have been going to bed super early and getting up at 5 a.m. And I get off of work at 2 o'clock and I'm like, oh my God, it's still light out. I still have day.
Yeah.
It feels like a hack because I feel like I don't like hate work as much anymore because it barely takes up any of my day if you think about it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I feel like in our first corporate job, they told us that we just had to be there for 8 hours, right? So like some people were leaving at like 3:30, and I was like, I didn't know we could do that. So there I went, and I started getting to work at 7 because it just made more sense. I was like, I'd rather get out of
100%.
here and have a whole day than be here like till crack it on, the other way around.
It was funny because we would get there and it would be the one other, like, she was a ride or die, okay? She was an OG and she would get there legit at like 6 a.m. And then people would be going to lunch and she's like, bye guys.
Yeah.
I wish I would have enjoyed that job for what it was, which is if I had been better at the job, I could have it would have been a decent coast job.
It was a really easy coast job looking back. It's like one of the easiest coast jobs probably ever, but it's just like the most annoying thing to do. You're like shifting through Excel files and pressing buttons that honestly probably could be animated like at this point.
I bet they are. I would not be surprised. I saw that. I was like, oh, this is going to be automated in like 5 years.
Yeah, that was a great start. I feel like that was like a really good first corporate experience. Like it taught me enough to like the corporate world and lingo to see what to expect from other companies, but it was easy enough where I didn't feel like I'm bad at this.
I swear one of my favorite memories is when I was like, they keep on asking me about bandwidth, and I was complaining to Berenice. I was like, bandwidth? What the fuck are you talking about? The bandwidth? You guys gave me this computer. And she was like, girl, they're not talking. What the fuck do you think bandwidth is? And I was like, I feel like it has to do with the computer requirement. Like, can my computer handle the file? And she was like, no, can you take on this project? And I was like, oh.
I catch on quick. Like, if I don't necessarily, and I think corporate America, I always say, like, just wait to see how other people talk, because that's just something they started saying when it is like, I can't take that on, or I don't want to. It's like, I don't have the bandwidth to do it.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, Ella, just say, like, you don't have the bandwidth. It means I have too much on my plate.
You think? I didn't know that. It was a really good first corporate job.
Looking back.
But anyways, East Coast hours, working in Pacific time, remote is a hack to not hate your life.
If you're not an early riser, don't do that. You will hate your life.
I am not an early riser. You just have to get enough sleep.
Yeah, but like some people are better at waking up earlier than others. Like some people are really cranky in the morning.
I'm never cranky. I'm a delight all the time. That's why I move up so quickly, is people love working with me.
Humble flex. I get along perfectly with everyone. Everybody likes me. No. Well, I'm glad you're getting a start to your day early and it's been productive.
How was the vendor market? Her collective? I think it was the last time we talked.
Oh my God, that was a while ago. It was good. I'm doing another one for the same people, April 24th. If you're in New York and you want to go to a little bass show, check out the Trigger Collective. We're going to be at the Crown. And I'm pretty sure you can pay at the door if you don't have a ticket. It was really nice. I enjoy that it is just like a very nice rooftop in general. So I believe like they usually don't hold like base events there. Unfortunately, the base scene has always been like a little bit more underground everywhere, but especially like in New York, since there's already like warehouses here, they never specifically get nice warehouses unless it's like a really big like talent. When it's like local DJs, I don't know why they always choose like the grossest spots. And I'm like, sometimes it
Yeah.
just doesn't make sense because like I don't want to be a sewer gremlin or party by the garbage, like where the rhythm bus used to be. So it's nice that like this is a really nice rooftop, and I felt like it brought the best out in people. So in that way, I don't mind bending here. I feel like valued, and it just feels like a good vibe. And I always make friends with the bartenders when I'm bending. I don't know what it is. Must
You
be
have
like
that vibe.
I just have that vibe. I'm also a service worker. So usually when I get there and I go up to the bar, I end up getting drinks for free. So I gotta have to watch that because of like I am technically like working, you know? But the bar's trying to have a good time and so am I. So yeah, generally very cool. You always meet cool people at these things, specifically like other vendors. And I met a guy that he just started like his own flow toy company, and he sells, it's like a lightsaber.
Okay.
Very cool though, because like that's just like technology that you don't pass in your everyday.
Mm-hmm.
So I always like to meet up, and it usually ends up being the same people that are like the most sober and like either selling something or just like older, all hanging out together. So overall, it was a good experience. I'm excited for the next one.
Summer in New York, baby. Rooftop bass events. Can't get
Summer
much
in
better
New
than that.
York. Yes, so come out. Other than that, I've been watching a lot of Ted Lasso.
Okay.
Have you ever watched it?
I've taken a gander.
Really?
I'm taking a gander.
I
Like,
wasn't down at first because my
okay.
boyfriend was like, "Let's watch Ted Lasso," and I was like, "I think this is a dude show," and I rejected it immediately. But now I'm hooked. I think it talks about a lot of like men's issues, which sometimes I'm like, I'm here to see what how they portray them, and the writing is really good.
Okay,
So
I'll check it out.
I think you should continue on that journey. It gets really funny. Just get through like a first couple of episodes and you're gonna be in there.
I could always use a new comfort show, so we'll try Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso. But it also gives me the ick sometimes. There's one thing about seeing that in like a show portrayed where you're just like, he's so insecure. You know? And like you see how that manifests in real life as well as like in the shows.
Maybe have you seen the Manosphere?
No. Similar? Okay.
No, it's a documentary.
Oh.
It's a documentary about basically like these toxic red pill male content creators. And it's just like kind of funny because they're doing a bit, is
Okay.
what it kind of feels like. It's like they don't even believe this shit. It's just like a cash grab riff. But then they don't really want to take accountability for how damaging it is to society. So it's a little interesting.
Okay.
But
Manosphere.
talk about man issues. We could do a whole episode on that.
Manosphere. Writing it down.
We have a really fun episode. We're talking about creating new traditions,
Mm-hmm.
new rituals.
Mm-hmm.
I'll kick it off. So basically, I, on the 31st, end of Q1, took myself out to a little reflective dinner, okay? And I kind of did it on accident. Like, I didn't realize it was the end of the quarter, but I was like, fuck it. I should go to dinner today. And then I was like, oh, it's the end of the quarter. Maybe I should be celebrating. What were my quarter goals? Brought my little notebook, did the thing. And I think it's going to be a new tradition because there is something about a solo date that I really encourage people, especially when you're single, but also especially when you're in a relationship, okay? Because I feel like once you're in a relationship, you just start doing stuff together because it's like easy and you want to enjoy things and memories with your significant other. And then you stop creating memories on your own. How sad. Anyway, so this is like my new tradition. At the end of the quarter, we're going to take myself out to a nice bougie dinner, enjoy it, enjoy the
Nice.
scenery, take it slow.
Yes.
And I think it's like cool. I think we underestimate how cool it is to just start a new tradition or a new ritual.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, you could do this for yourself. You could do this with friends. I think with any like tradition, routine, anything that you're like taking on, continuity is just really important. Continuity is like so underrated. Making anything happen and continuing that, what builds this like thing that becomes special, whether that is just like something that you just do for yourself or your friends, or even long term like a business or whatever. Continuity is really important. I'm building like in my relationship like weekly check-ins. My brain has really switched in the past couple of years, where I used to be a little bit more like go with the flow, easygoing, didn't have as many like goals that needed to be actioned. Now things need to be actioned in order to just like get to where we're going. I had my boyfriend move in with me, and that caused some distraught in the routine, because I was like, we gotta get on the same page here.
Yeah.
Something that like really works is just like getting down and like seeing what my week is gonna look like, and that just creates, you know, expectations and all these things that like I kind of need structure for. I realized in my day to day, and we just started doing those. And last time, there don't have to be like super formal. Last time, like we just like went to a bar and like literally had a beer, wrote down like our goals of the week and like what we each could action, and it felt really good. It felt like it felt like a date, but it also felt productive. And I don't know, personally, my brain liked it.
I might steal that. I love that. I've been trying to get my boyfriend to share his work calendar with me.
Let me see it.
He
Yeah.
travels a lot, and so I can't keep track of where the fuck he is in the world. And like, he'll tell me, like, I've told you I'm gonna be in fucking Tennessee this week, bitch. What, you want me to put your, like, I can't remember that shit because that's just not how my brain works. So I might adopt this like weekly check-in so that I can like kind of clock what's going
Yeah,
on.
you just know what's going on. I think it helps me. I can be a little anxious, and I'm
Mm.
also forgetful. This is a way to keep myself accountable. Then as I'm checking things off, I let him know, you know, I did this and this and this and this. And then it's nice. We have a shared calendar, and we have that with our roommate
Mm.
as well. That way you can write something in your own calendar and like look at your other calendars and choose to share it. So it's not like double work. It's just you're choosing who to share that with. And then that way we just put dates, like I have an event this week, and whatever kind of like messages we want each other to see within our calendar, we have that
Smart.
option. Thank you. Yeah.
I like that because that's a system that works for everyone. Because I got a calendar for people to put stuff in on in the house. No one writes on the calendar just because people's brains aren't working on a big calendar like that. So I feel like you got to figure out what works for you. And I like that you just have a shared calendar. And something I've started, a new ritual I've started, is like Monday 0 hour, which is I do it on Sunday. So essentially, I just kind of look at all of my buckets of things that I need to do and say, like, what needs to get done this week. And I do it on Sunday for like an hour because then I can enjoy my Sunday. Because I'm gonna be honest, there's no easy money, there's no easy hustle. Like, everything's gonna be work. I've found out like recently, like these past 3 months, I've realized like passive income isn't passive from day one.
No.
So I have a lot of buckets right now. And so it's like Sunday 0 hour. I just get everything together, what needs to happen this week. And then I kind of shut my brain off and chill out for the rest of Sunday.
See, that's nice. So then you have a plan.
Have a plan.
What needs to be prioritized. And I think these little things, the more you do them, it helps build routine, which I really thrive in. But you can do whatever type of traditions you want for yourself. Something that that I try to do, but like I'm not great with like building traditions for myself, because I am bad at setting a routine, but not bad at practicing it. I want to just do more self-care things that don't involve being productive, because I sometimes feel like if it's not productive, then like it can't be prioritized. And things like a spa day, you know, things where I literally have to just unplug and like sit there and like relax. I feel like I'm always like, what should I be doing right now, rather than like, how can I enjoy myself at this moment in time?
I've like also thought about that, and I've been thinking about kind of going like super old school with my hobbies, as in I need hobbies that don't have a screen attached to them. I can no longer like enjoy TV shows in the same way because it's just me staring at a screen. It's not really relaxing after staring at a screen for like 12 hours. Bitch, I'm picking up drawing. I've been drawing, okay? Because it's like I've been drawing and reading. And those are like my new rituals. When it's like I kind of feel like scrolling, I stop myself and I say, do I really want to do that? Do I want to know what's going on in the world? Do I want new information? I don't think so. And then I
Yeah.
just drop into something like manual and screen free. And that's just kind of been my new ritual.
I like that. Yeah, so I'm hoping as the weather's getting nicer here to build that time for myself where I really want to do like the hair and like scalp ASMRs. I just like getting my hair played with and I like falling asleep to it. And I watch a lot of TikToks and that's how I fall asleep sometimes. And I was like, maybe this could be something monthly that I treat myself to.
I love that.
Bernice's nap hour.
I've been into full moon manifestation, okay?
Oh,
You
and
know,
how was the full moon for you? Was it good?
well, I don't know. It hasn't come to fruition. I mean, the full moon was last night. I did do
Yeah,
some a lot of manifesting.
but it
I'm
was it was good. Did you feel what energy were you feeling? I feel like that's important because a lot of people were crashing out yesterday.
Oh, no, girl, I'm locked and loaded, okay? Pink moon. Pink moon, we're getting into like springtime, new beginnings. I've been keeping my like manifestations the fucking same, and that's my ritual. My new rituals, the manifestations are the same. They haven't changed because I still got to focus on the same shit, okay?
Yeah,
And so just the ritual of saying the same things to myself every single day, the same manifestations in the mirror every single day. That's part of my nighttime ritual. I am calm. I am someone who does what they say they will do. I keep it simple.
my self reminders lately when I'm like either scrolling or doing something unproductive, or I look at something where like I could get there. Sometimes you are looking at people online and you're like, I'm gonna get there, and I'm like, well, I'm probably not gonna get there sitting on my fucking ass. Okay, so let's get up and start doing things. I'm in the action part of the manifestation. I'm like,
Yeah.
girl, you know we're gonna get there. You just need to keep going.
That's like another ritual is just writing things down. I think there's something about an analog notebook of like I'm just looking at this, I'm like, damn, okay, well this is you're like, how long has this been on the to-do list? And you're like 9 months. And I'm like, is this even do I even need to do this? Like if I haven't done it in 9 months? No.
Yeah.
And I also just like having a planner where I'm seeing time go by page. And it's like, okay, time's a ticking, bitch. If you're not
Yeah.
gonna do it now, when are you gonna do it? You better
Yeah.
start.
Yeah, that is very true. Listen, you gotta stay on it. I think like that's the traditions and discipline are like so intertwined sometimes. I mean, you can
Yeah.
have like fun traditions. I think discipline is just kicking in that continuity piece. I think that we don't do enough silly traditions, and that's something that maybe I want to start practicing. Like a silly tradition could be like going out with the girls in costume. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like bring back the wig nights, bring back I've been seeing a lot of my friends do girl nights like once every 3 months, which I really appreciate because I'm like I don't hang out with like that much women. Sometimes I hang out by myself, or I'm like at my bartending slash serving job and I
Yeah.
only work with there's mainly dudes there, and I'm like, this is just not hitting the same.
Not as much as a little girl's night. A little girly night.
Yeah, yeah. And I think as you get older, and sometimes when you hang out with the girls, just literally like plopped on the couch, and you're just like, I forgot how chill this is.
A silly tradition is so quintessential of the human experience, and I think if you're away from home, bring your silly tradition to your friends. Like you
Mm.
continue your tradition with your new family. My favorite silly tradition my family does is like candy apple turkeys. So on
Ooh.
Thanksgiving, we have an apple. We decorate it with candy to look like a turkey. And one year we didn't do them. And I said, where are candy apple turkey? And my aunt was like, oh, like you guys are too old for that. Once you guys start having kids, we can do it again. And I crashed out, okay? Because I was like, how dare you? How dare you say something so heated? I was like, first of all, no one in this family is in the mental space to have a child. Like, why would we bring a child? You know what I'm saying? Like, look around at who you're saying should have kids before we can get candy apple turkeys. Which one of us do you think should be having a child right now? The torch got passed, okay?
Yeah.
But my aunt, she was like, you know what? I think that's the last time she ever said some dumb shit like before you guys need to start having kids. So I was like, which one of us? Which one of us seems like they're in the
Pick.
relationship or the mental space or the financial situation to have a child? It's like, oh shit, yeah, word.
to fully sustain a little one. I mean, a lot of people do it without having any of those things intact. So, you could pull it off. But I do believe that there's good things in preparation.
I just mean you're never too old for tradition. I think one time me and my cousin we went trick or treating, and I think I was in 8th grade and he was in like 9th grade, and the guy was like, "Oh, you guys are a little too old to be trick or treating," and I'm like, "Why don't you just give us a piece of candy and be thankful that we're not doing something delinquent in nature?"
Yeah.
And then this motherfucker had the audacity. He was giving out raisins. And I was like, oh, so it's not even like you are not trying to spend king size candy money on teenagers. You're not trying to give us raisins,
You're trying
motherfucker.
to set your values and beliefs onto us. How lame.
Fuck, put the candy in the motherfucking bag and be thankful I'm not fucking TPing your house, okay?
You funless man. See, silly traditions. And those are fun. Like, that's why I love Halloween, because it's like one tradition that's just like really for the vibes.
Mm-hmm. Very
You know,
fun, very
it's just
cool.
for fun. I sometimes love like building traditions with other people. I think you'd be surprised how many people don't have any traditions to hold on to. I once scared off a man with trying to share my traditions. I think a little too early. Okay. When I travel and like if my significant others start coming with me, I really like finding them like a little gift. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but like if I thought about you during the trip or I stumbled upon something that made me think of you, I think that's just cute. So I kind of did that, and then I was in LA, so I was like in the like little area where it's like everything is Japanese. So
Yes.
I went in there and I like saw some stuff, and I anytime like growing up in Seattle, I studied Japanese but could not go to Japan at this time. So whenever I'd go into any Japanese stores like Daiso or Uwajimaya, I would get like candy that I've never tried before. And that would just be like my little thing. Anytime I went in there, I would just
Mm-hmm.
try a new piece of candy. Because you never
Very
know,
fun.
I want to be cultured. And then I did that coming back from it. I do believe it scared him off because he was like a very person, had a lot of like family trauma, didn't have any traditions, okay? So there I was just like, oh my god, I brought you this like manga, this candy, and like this is what this candy like represents to me and whatever. Yeah, he did not like that. I mean, he said he liked that, but then he was like, I don't think we could date. And I was like, okay,
Loser.
word. Some people are not ready to receive that, but had it been the right person, I feel like that tradition, gets carried with. And I feel like it's cute to share traditions with other people.
I do think that, like, if you're authentically yourself, you're not going to scare off the right person.
Oh, this story isn't really about that. It's more about like the fact that for me, I think sharing traditions is like really cute, and I think you
Mm-hmm.
should do that. And it doesn't have to be like a significant other. It really could just be your friend.
I mean, pull anybody in, pull a stranger into traditions. Who cares?
Yeah, I bring people things back from trips all the time. Not everybody, because like who has the money for that? But every now and then, if I'm like thinking about you on my trip, like I think showing love is so underrated. Okay, I don't think we show enough love to our friends, to anything, and there could be like such little things, but I feel like sometimes insecurity keeps us from showing love, and like sharing traditions I feel like is a great way to show love and build community.
Hell yeah. I was like, did you have any like school traditions that you really like? I feel like some of us lose traditions once it's like not with like an organized group.
Yeah, maybe like when they do field day, I
Mm-hmm.
thought
Oh
like
yeah.
those were really fun traditions where it was like literally I just feel like sometimes I feel like the best traditions are just for community building. They're just they're just to like
Yeah.
keep up the moral, hype up the vibe.
Yeah, we had always like I think my favorite thing I did in high school was cross country, and it was just because there was like so many cool traditions, specifically like just with the girls, because it's a co-ed sport. We had like all these traditions as a girls team that just like I just hold near and dear to my heart because everyone was included, and I think
Mhm.
there's something really beautiful about including everyone regardless of if they're like in the niche, in the know.
Yes.
Like a ritual that's shared no matter who.
Yeah, it could be such small things like on Saturdays. Used to do a lot before, but the bodega downstairs from my apartment, they make tamales. So I'll just buy the household tamales. I think they're cute little things that you could do for yourself or for others to make people feel included and just special.
It like gives highlight, like a highlight reel. I think you remember things more when you have a tradition attached to it. Like for instance, right now we have like a omakase all you can eat sushi tradition, right? Where it's like
Mm.
the friends go to omakase, the friends go to all you can eat sushi. And now I've been to all you can eat sushi and omakase like, across the globe. And it's like something I remember. And it's something about that I guess like a activity that I share with a group of people. It's just not individual. So it's like a sense of community that I really like.
I like that. Kind of on the opposite side is if you don't like the traditions that you're part of, you could always like break them and make new ones that work for you. I've seen people hang on to traditions that you don't necessarily enjoy for the sake of holding on to traditions. I think it's okay to update. I think if old traditions make you sad, it's okay to let them go. They say that about healing. It's like you can't keep fucking touching the same wound and want it to heal. I see that with a lot of people that are like kind of chasing traditions that maybe they had when they were younger and they're just like no longer possible or they upset them. I know a lot of people go home for Christmas when they don't really want to. I would challenge you to not go maybe this year. Sometimes it's okay to like step away from things that you do not enjoy just for the sake that it's routine or expected.
Why don't you build something new? Sometimes when people are like, oh, I hate my birthdays because no one ever wants to do anything with me. Okay, well, then why don't you create a tradition you just do by yourself? Like, why would you just every year be disappointed that no one wants to do anything with you instead of just like making something new? Or like, I don't like Thanksgiving because I don't like turkey. Well, then don't eat turkey. Like, what the heck are you talking about? Like, you have like not enough people practice free will. It's that SpongeBob meme with the handcuffs that you can literally just slip out of. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, no one's putting a gun to your head saying you have to have turkey on Thanksgiving. If you don't fucking like it, then don't eat it. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's a little cuckoo bananas that people are not challenging norms more often to me. Sometimes when people are like, I don't actually enjoy doing that, or like, my family wants me to do this, but I don't really want to do it. I'm like, are they financially supporting you, or like, why are you being held
What's the
hostage?
deal? Yeah, like
And then when they're like, no, I'm like, I don't understand. You can just say no, right?
I know there's like some complexities to things or whatever, and like sometimes you do have to show up to things you don't want to because that's a part about being in a community. But there's some things that I just really feel like we're in a prison of our own making. For instance, it's like, oh, well, I can't say no to my parents to go home for Christmas, even though you could. Like, is there something you could do to make it more comfortable for yourself? Like, do you need to save money so you don't have to stay at your mom's house? Can you make the trip a day instead of a week? Like, at least think about it. Try to problem solve for yourself so you can have a happier life.
Yeah, there's just a lot of things that I personally don't subscribe to. Weddings being one of them. I love and I'm happy for you, but sometimes I just feel like there's a lot of rules set on weddings, which is like, yeah, it's your event, have them. But sometimes I feel like it's a little interesting when people hold that over you when they have placed so many things around it, especially weddings. I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm more compelled to show up to a birthday than a wedding. I don't know. Maybe that's just a me thing. But there's just a lot of rules and expectations on weddings where I'm like, oh God. Like, they're like, oh, come on like a random day of the week. You don't get a +1. And like those types of things where I was like, oh, well, I guess I'll try to make it. But like, it's also just, there's a lot of restrictions. With this party.
Sometimes I'm like, it's really not that serious. And people
To
make
me,
it.
you know what I mean? To me, and I get that.
Well,
I true get that, but like, damn.
it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a fun event. You're stressed out. You're stressing your friends out. You don't have money for the wedding. You're going into debt. Like, what part of this is fun for anyone? Like, you're literally like, I'm getting mean text messages about not being able to go to your bachelorette party, but it's a $2,000 event. What the fuck? Like, we're supposed to be having fun. I'm supposed to go into debt for your
Yeah.
wedding? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I think you can have whatever rules you want to have, but it's like, I just think that people take things a little too seriously in a way where it's not fun for anyone.
Yeah, and that's an interesting like tradition that people I think hold to this date that I personally don't subscribe to, and maybe those that comes from my own ideals of marriage, and maybe that's where that stems from me. But yes, it's hard for me to subscribe into certain traditions, especially when it comes to like marriage and financial surroundings to that. When I get it, and I'm really happy that you invited me to your special day. Like I really do love, but sometimes it just does not make sense, and I think it's kind of sad that people will like hold it against you if you don't like meet them the way that they are requiring you to meet them.
I was gonna say something very controversial.
Say it.
We like hype up certain things as like, you have like, this is their day because it's the best day of their life. Do we know that for sure? This is where I come where people start telling me that I sound a little jaded or whatever, but it's just like, are we sure that's the best day of your life? Like, there's so many events in your life, and I don't like that we all have the same day that's supposed to be the best day of our lives. Like, to me, one of the best days of my life, swimming with elephants.
And you don't need to be there.
I didn't know that that was going to be an amazing day. I didn't know that because society doesn't tell you that you need to go to an elephant sanctuary and touch ancient elephants. Like, that's not what society's telling you. Society's telling women that they have to have kids, that they have to be married, and those are the happiest days of your lives. I didn't even know fucking hanging out with elephants was an option for a source of joy. I just think we're selling ourselves short sometimes.
I'd rather give you the money to go have fun than to go.
No shade, no tea. Yeah, it actually would be cheaper for me to go hang out with elephants than it would be to go to your wedding. And it's not even a fucking cross country wedding. It's not even in Italy or something.
Yeah. So I've had to say no to a lot of weddings based on I was like, I'm just not financially there. Like I'm like it costs more money to go to Seattle in the summer than it goes to go to Europe, like a country I haven't been to.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No offense. No offense.
No
I
offense.
mean, I'm still going to wedding.
If I was financially there where I could like just do that, I'd do it. Like it's not that I don't want to do it. It's just I just feel like sometimes there's a bit of a very unrealistic expectation from some people and really hold that weight. Like she couldn't be there for me for this day where there's just a lot more dynamics in play than like wanting to be there for somebody. So that's
Yes.
as part of a tradition, I feel like that's a little extra. I like traditions where it doesn't involve like a high monetary value for you to be there and show up for me. Like I feel like
Yeah.
those are the best type of traditions.
Well, that's why I never have my birthday dinners at an expensive restaurant. And people can like shade, like, whatever. And it's not because I'm not a woman with fine taste. I make my boyfriend take me. He can pay for me to go out to a nice dinner. I'm not going to force all my friends to sit down at a table where it's going to be $100 for dinner because it's my birthday. I just want us to be there. And so, because being there is the most important part, I'm going to make it at a restaurant where we can have food for like $30 after tip, because that's more important to me. Because then if you don't show up, I feel like I could say something a little bit more than, oh, okay, I set myself up to fucking have no one come.
Yeah, those things matter. And there's also type of traditions where it's like, oh, I'm inviting you to my birthday dinner, but you know that someone's gonna be like, so we're gonna get her check, like right in front of her, right? So it's like she chose like a $300 per person restaurant, but sure, let's split her bill.
Bro, the most awkward I had to be was when we were at a pretty expensive birthday dinner, and they're like, "Can we split this?" And I said, "So you guys drink 8 sakes, so that's gonna be a no from me. I will cover my portion and whatever third of the, and birthday boys dinner, okay? I'm not fucking paying for y'all to be piss drunk, okay? Sorry, not sorry."
That's fair. Mostly if you're sober. Like that's
Well, that's the thing is I'm
so
sober.
stupid. Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, can we split this evenly?" No, you guys drank $500 worth of liquor. No, we cannot. Like, the fuck is this?
Yeah, those are interesting type of traditions where, it depends on the situation. I might be down, but I don't think it should be guaranteed that that's how that's gonna go, especially on birthday dinners. I don't see that happen all the time, but I do see that sometimes where I'm like, yeah, I guess I always know the groups of people that might, and you just have to be careful about what you tie yourself to if you're not willing to spend that much money on somebody else's birthday dinner.
No offense, I have a budget, babes. I'm trying to
Yeah.
retire. Okay, how much fucking disposable income do I have?
Yeah, I get that. So I don't know. I think that depends what type of like social values and norms that you're surrounded with. But I love building myself a good free community experience for tradition. Low budget, high vibes, you know?
Hikes, walk, coffee shop.
And people remember those things. Like if sometimes going out to like a really nice outing, it is nice. But I think you showing up for your friends in like a different way in these like little things, like quality times is so much more than like memorable and experience wise than, like other things.
I was very fortunate that I was able to pay for my whole family to go bowling, and it wasn't actually as expensive as you think. I think it was like maybe maybe $300 for my entire family. And it felt really good that I could do that, and it wasn't that expensive. It kind of got the ball rolling for someone else to pick it up next time. Because now we've
Right.
gone bowling again, and it's like a family tradition, and everyone can like save the $300 to treat the family to bowling once a quarter. Sometimes you kind of take the sacrifice to make sure everyone's included, and then you're pleasantly surprised that people pick up the tradition because it was so much fun.
Yeah, and people are thoughtful. You know what I mean? Like sometimes if you bridge that, you will meet, like you will see people who meet some of the gals that have been doing these girl nights. We did like a hot chocolate night and like everything was provided, and I was like, can we give you a donation, or like maybe next time, like we do it, or we figure out
Yeah.
this way so it's not like just you coming up with everything. I think you'd be surprised of how much people are willing to contribute when they like find that value in community that you're hoping to build.
All right, you guys, tell us your new traditions, and I hope you try a new personal tradition or friendship tradition. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. Check us out on social media at Thanks Number 4 Your Concern, and I'm at Ella L. Tutor.
I'm at Berenice and Ella. Toodles, bye.
Bye.